Title: Luna and the Starlight Harp. Once upon a time, in the small town of Meadowbrook, there lived an imaginative 11-year-old girl named Luna. She had curly dark hair, bright hazel eyes, and a constant smile full of wonder. From the moment she could walk, Luna had loved music. Anything she heard, she would hum or tap her fingers to, even if it was just the chirping of birds or the wind rustling through the trees. But the most magical thing Luna owned was a tiny wooden music box her grandmother had given her on her 10th birthday. Inside it lay a miniature harp carved from moon-white wood. Whenever Luna wound the spring and opened the lid, the harp would play the sweetest, most haunting melody she had ever heard. One sunny afternoon, while Luna sat on the front porch practicing her own little songs on an old flute, an unusual sight caught her eye. A silver-feathered bird fluttered down and landed on the railing, tilting its head as if listening to her tune. Luna smiled and offered a gentle note. The bird chirped back in perfect harmony. Startled, Luna stopped playing. The bird hopped closer and tapped its beak against her music box. Luna opened the lid. As the tiny harp began its melody, the bird's feathers shimmered even more brightly. When the music finished, the bird let out a single clear trill and flew off toward the forest beyond Meadowbrook. Intrigued, Luna shut her music box and called to her mother. "Mama, I think that bird wants me to follow it." Her mother, brushing flour from her hands after baking bread in their little kitchen, smiled knowingly. "Go on, dear, but be back before sundown, and take your lantern if you go deep into the woods." Luna grabbed her small lantern, tucked her music box safely in her pocket, and set off, her heart pounding with excitement. She followed the silver-feathered bird through winding trails, past tall oaks and fields of yellow buttercups. Birds of every color sang overhead, and rabbits with twitching noses darted in and out of the underbrush. The deeper Luna went into the forest, the quieter the air became, until only the soft crunch of her boots on moss-covered ground remained. Finally, she arrived at a hidden glade illuminated by shafts of golden sunlight. At its center stood an enormous ancient oak with a hollow trunk. The silver bird perched at the edge of the hollow, twitching its head as if urging Luna to come closer. Heart in her throat, Luna set down her lantern and knelt before the tree. She reached out to touch its smooth bark, and immediately the air around her trembled. From within the hollow, a deep, melodic voice whispered, "Who seeks the Starlight Harp?" Luna's eyes widened. "I am Luna of Meadowbrook," she answered, her voice barely above a whisper. "I heard the harp's song and followed the bird." From deep inside the tree, a faint glow emerged. Gradually, the hollow widened until it revealed a hidden chamber, a spiral staircase carved from the very roots of the oak. Holding her lantern high, Luna descended the staircase, each step seeming to hum with enchantment. At the bottom, she found herself in a domed cavern filled with twinkling crystals that reflected her lantern light like thousands of tiny stars. In the middle of the cavern stood a pedestal carved with ancient runes, and atop it rested a harp crafted entirely from starlight, its frame glowing as if formed from moonbeams, and its strings shimmering like silver threads. Luna's breath caught in her chest. The Starlight Harp, spoken of only in legends, hovered with a gentle radiance. According to the old stories, the harp could bring harmony to troubled hearts and heal broken places in the world. Long ago, it had been entrusted to the guardians of the forest, but over time, fear and neglect caused its magic to fade, and so it retreated into hiding, waiting for someone with a pure heart and a true love of music to claim it once more. Tentatively, Luna stepped forward. The harp's strings began to glow brighter at her approach. She uncased her flute and began to play a soft melody, one her grandmother had taught her that she called the Night's Lullaby. As the notes drifted through the cavern, the Starlight Harp responded, its strings vibrating in perfect unison. A sweet silver light spread out from the harp, dissolving the shadows in the cavern until the chamber was bathed in gentle moonlight. Stars seemed to sparkle in every direction, and the cavern walls sang along. Luna felt a warm current of joy flow through her, as though the harp's magic recognized her love of music. Just then, the cavern door creaked open, and a figure stepped in, a benevolent-looking woman with hair like woven silver and eyes that glowed with ancient wisdom. She wore robes embroidered with constellations that sparkled as she moved. Luna recognized her from the old stories. She was the spirit of harmony, the ancient guardian who had watched over the Starlight Harp. Luna, the spirit said in a voice like wind chimes, you have answered the harp's call. Its magic lives again because your heart is true. Luna's eyes filled with tears of awe. I never imagined, she stammered. The spirit gently lifted the Starlight Harp and placed it in Luna's hands. It felt warm and alive, as if beating in rhythm with Luna's own heartbeat. The harp's magic must be shared, the spirit continued. Meadowbrook, and perhaps even the world beyond, has grown weary and lost its song. You are its new guardian, Luna. Use the harp's music to bring hope and healing. Suddenly the cavern shook as a deep rumble echoed from above. The silver bird fluttered down beside Luna, its feathers dull for the first time. Beware, it chirped. Shadows of discord rise in the land. Envy, anger, and sorrow. They will seek to silence the harp's music. Luna's grip tightened around the harp's frame. What must I do? She asked. The spirit's eyes softened. Trust in your music, Luna. Wherever you go, play the harp. Let its notes remind people of kindness, courage, and joy. But remember, the harp cannot vanquish darkness alone. You must inspire others to find the music in their own hearts. With those words, the spirit began to fade. Go now, guardian. The forest's light goes with you. As the cavern's glow dimmed, Luna found herself lifted gently upward, and in the blink of an eye she was standing once more in the sunlit glade before the ancient oak. Holding the Starlight Harp close, Luna took a deep breath. The silver bird fluttered beside her, now shining brightly again. I will help, Luna whispered. I will share the music. That evening, Luna returned to Meadowbrook, taking the long way home to see the forest change as she passed. In fields where gray fog clung to the grass, she lifted the harp to her chin and played a song she composed herself, one about hope and new beginnings. As the notes drifted across the fields, the fog receded, replaced by a soft, golden glow. Rabbits emerged, and deer lifted their heads. Luna continued playing until she reached the town's edge, where the sound of distant laughter drifted from children playing after dinner. At her front door stood her mother and younger brother, Marco, clapping with delight. Luna! Marco exclaimed. That's the most beautiful music I've ever heard. Luna smiled shyly. I found something incredible today. She showed them the harp, its strings still glowing faintly. Word of Luna's magical music spread quickly through Meadowbrook. The next morning, Luna set up a small stage in the town square, a wooden platform beneath a flowering cherry blossom tree. As people gathered, Luna took out the Starlight Harp and began to play a gentle tune that rippled through the air like soft waves. The townfolk stopped their chores and listened. The bakery's oven fire burned brighter, the blacksmith's bellows seemed to move more smoothly, and even the old clock tower's ticking slowed to a peaceful rhythm. An elderly man leaned on his cane and closed his eyes, tears of relief glistening on his cheeks. I haven't felt such peace in years, he whispered. A group of children danced barefoot on the grass, while anxious mothers smiled for the first time that morning. Luna played until the sun dipped low in the sky, and only the hum of soft applause remained. But even as the town rejoiced, a shadow stirred in the nearby mountains. Far beyond Meadowbrook, in the jagged peaks that pierced gray clouds, lived the spirit of discord, a being born from anger, jealousy, and sorrow. For centuries, the spirit of discord had watched as the Starlight Harp's magic waned. Now that it was reborn, it seethed with rage. That girl steals harmony for her people, it hissed, swirling its dark mist. I must snuff out that light before the whole world remembers how to hope. Deep in the night, as Luna slept, a cold wind slipped through her window. The harp's glow flickered. Luna awoke and saw the shadowy mist pooling at her feet, coalescing into a tall, gaunt figure with hollow eyes. You will not bring joy again, it snarled. Luna sat up, clutching the harp. Its strings resonated with tension, emitting a protective whisper. Summoning every bit of courage, Luna lifted the harp and struck a single clear note. It hung in the air like a droplet of silver light. The shadow recoiled, but roared. Mud, despair, and pain. These are the true songs of the world. With a wave of its hand, darkness surged toward Luna. She felt fear tighten her chest, but then she recalled the faces of her mother Marco and everyone in Meadowbrook. Their hopes, their belief in her, gave her strength. She began to play a melody she had never learned, but felt deep within her heart, a melody of bravery and kindness. The harp's strings glowed brilliantly, and the notes soared upward, scattering the shadows like frightened bats. The spirit of discord shrieked as its form disintegrated into mist. The cavern in the forest trembled once more, as though releasing a final breath of dark energy. Then silence fell. Luna lowered the harp, her hands trembling but her spirit unbroken. Come morning, Luna ventured back to the glade to ensure the forest was at peace. The ancient oak stood quietly, its leaves shimmering in the dawn light. The silver bird landed on Luna's shoulder, chirping a soft lullaby. In the hollow of the oak, carved runes glowed faintly, like a silent thank you. Luna understood that her duty as guardian was not over. She would return to the glade whenever the forest called. Back in Meadowbrook, Luna continued to play the Starlight Harp each day. She led gatherings in the town square where villagers came to sing, dance, and share stories. They learned new songs, discovered long-forgotten melodies, and found joy even in simple moments, like a shared loaf of bread or laughter with friends. Luna also visited neighboring villages, bringing the harp's music to people in need. In one town, the crops were failing because the farmers had lost hope. Luna played under the starry sky, and the next morning, birds returned to sing in the fields, and sprouts of green peeked from the soil. Years passed, and Luna grew into a wise young woman. Her music had woven itself into the very heart of Meadowbrook. Whenever darkness threatened, be it cold winters that chilled hearts or disagreements that divided families, Luna and her harp reminded everyone of the beauty of unity and compassion. Children who once hid from the forest's edge now explored its paths, listening for the soft humming of the silver bird. The forest, too, thrived once more. Deer grazed peacefully, wildflowers bloomed in riotous color, and the river Luna, named after the brave girl who had saved it, rushed happily through the trees. One evening, as Luna played beneath the cherry blossom tree in the town square, she noticed young children gathering around a worn flute and a weathered sheet of music next to her. A shy boy named Bram lifted the flute hesitantly toward his lips and blew a tentative note. Others joined, each adding a single note. Luna closed her eyes and smiled as their melody mingled with her harp's starlit song. In that moment, she realized the harp's magic had moved into the hearts of Meadowbrook's people. She had done her task, not by fighting darkness alone, but by helping others find the music within themselves. And so, Luna's legacy as guardian of the Starlight Harp endured. Whenever someone felt lost or forgotten, they remembered her gentle voice. The world is full of song. You need only listen. And in their listening, they found courage, kindness, and hope. Moral of the story: true magic lies not in vanquishing darkness alone, but in inspiring others to discover the harmony within their own hearts. A single melody, shared with kindness, can light up the world.